Bartek, I have short question. I have my personal repository on one of the GitHub Git services, Git hosting services. My question here is, I want to make it visible for all the people in EUROfusion, and I want to use PSNC resources. How can I do this?
Oh, it's very simple. So firstly, you have to log into your GitLab account on PSNC resources. I will log in on mine.
And what kind of credential do I have to use?
You have to use the credentials to which you log in on the gateway account. So
Okay.
it's basically the same. So you can you can see that I use G2B-Pogo and I use my password to gateway. I'm logging in, and right now to import your project to PSNC resources, you have to create a new project. And instead of creating a blank project, you will import one.
Okay.
And here you have many options on which services you have, and etc. etc. If you have private repository, then for example on GitHub you will have to add the personal access token. But I heard that your repository is public, so I think we could use simple repo by URL.
Yes, indeed. It's public.
Yeah.
It's shared across all the people. So
Yeah, even if it is somehow password protected, or you have to pass some credential, you can pass it there. Here you just add the Git repository URL. Here you name it. So let's call it my superb project. Project. And here you can choose which on which group or which user this repository will appear. So if we choose, for example, a group, then you can share your repository easily with many other members of this GitLab. If you don't want it, you can always put it on your own account and just don't share it with anyone.
okay, so just a short question here. So I assume that for the starters, I can always start with my username, and then if I decide that I want to share with somebody else, it's not a problem in the future.
No, it's not. You can always transfer your repository to different groups or different users if you have access to them.
Great.
So there is one important thing about the visibility level. You can choose how your project can be viewed. If it's public, then everyone on the internet can see it. If it's internal, then only logged in members can see your project. And if it's private, then it's just part of the group or your group or yourself, and only you have access to this.
Okay, so again, I can start with private approach, and then I can change it in the future.
Of course.
Right.
So maybe you will try it.
Okay, great. So let's try to import my project.
Yes.
Okay, so this is my project. I have it on my GitHub repository, and I want to make sure that it's visible on EUROfusion. So I assume that I have to start with signing in into gitlab.eufus.psnc.pl. Okay, so I am here. I want to log in as a gateway user. So I assume that I use my user and password.
The gateway one.
Okay, let me just copy in my password. I am signing in. Okay. And now I can see pretty much the same screen as you have shown me. So I assume that the first step I have to do is just choose the new project.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go there. New project. And instead of creating a blank one, I can import my project here.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. And as we discussed, my repo is publicly visible, so I can simply use repo by URL, and I will choose this one. And now I assume that I have to simply paste here my repo URL as it is in GitHub.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go here. I am copying this one, pasting it here. I don't have to provide user and password.
Exactly. You have this
Project
repository
name.
is private,
Maybe
public.
Maybe I will just change its name to import. So I know later on that this is the imported project from somewhere else. And of course, I could leave the same name, I assume.
Yes, you could, but it's this way we can see that this is the imported project on our resources.
Okay, so now I will choose Michał, which is my username, and I can leave the project as a private because for now I'm not sure whether everything is fine. So I will leave it private, and then maybe I will share it with some other people. And I assume that I have to press create project.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so now let's create the project.
As you can see, the import is in progress. And
Okay,
voila.
great. Well, it looks like a regular project, so I assume I should be able to clone it. So
Yes.
I can probably just clone it using this here. Okay, so let's copy this URL. I'm up here on the gateway and I will clone my new repository. So what I do is git clone. I am pasting my URL address, which is now hosted on gitlab.eufus.psnc.pl. Okay. I have to again provide my gateway account.
Yes, okay. Credentials for the gateway account, yeah.
Okay, so Michał. Now I am pasting my password for the gateway. And that's it. So now let's go inside. Let's take a look at my README file, and I have already cloned my repository. So all I have to do is just module load imasenv. I have to create the code. I mean, compile the code.
Yes, yes.
And now I can run the code. Okay, it looks like everything compiled and is running.
So this is how you import your repository to our resources.
Okay, great. Thank you.
See you again.
See you.